demonstrate as you went around the state how hard our state employees are working, the local municipal employees, our state police, local police, firefighters. But it tells us one more time that this state, in an emergency, has to rely on the Vermont National Guard. Applaud you and the Guard members who are there. In some instances, to go from point A to point B, which would normally be a 30-mile drive, they've had to go 100 or 130 miles to just find roads to get there. It was so obvious from the helicopter, you'd see this clear road, and I've been taking pictures of that, get around the corner, and there it's all washed out and the bridge is gone. So I've been encouraging everybody, radio and whatnot, the police, the guard, the firefighters tell you, you really can't go down this road that looks pristine. Listen to them, because around the corner, you may face real tragedy if you try to go there. I've gone to these things for decades, both as state's attorney and then as a U.S. Senator. I've not seen anything that shocked me as much as what I've seen here. When we do not expect something like this in the summertime, we do not expect to see communities cut off entirely from the places they're used to going, to be able to go to the stores, to go to grocery stores, to go to medical facilities. Now they're totally cut off. They're an island. And even if you may have had 3 roads coming in, they're all cut off. This was really moving, and then seeing people that I've known, seeing restaurants that have been destroyed, where Marcel and I have gone to have lunch and breakfast, and seeing stores we've gone into over the years where people have worked so hard to get there and gone. Now I want to compliment not only the governor, but the staff and everybody in the state office. My office had people working throughout this past weekend, virtually around the clock, and be in touch with them under direction of John Tracy, and everybody has responded well. The people now are. I've made it very clear to the White House what I want. I'll close with this. As I was walking down one of the streets that have been devastated, this one I'm proud of. I got an email from a very, very conservative senator out in a western state. He said, Pat, when we had an earthquake, you helped us. Tell me what to do. Tell me what to vote for. I'll vote for it. But we found that all over the state, in our state and outside. People want to help. They should want to help. We're a good state. We'll come out of this. We'll only do it because we help each other.
I think the devastation we saw today is just hard to describe. And the intensity of the storm, I mean, we all anticipated that we could be hit by Irene, but I don't think anyone anticipated that one hamlet or village would be spared and the next one down the river would be just taken out. And it was the amount of roads and bridges, businesses and houses we saw that, quite frankly, have to be rebuilt from the ground up. I'm very proud of the members of the Guard that responded to the governor's call. I'm very, very pleased with the interaction between Vermont Emergency Management and Vermont Public Safety, the Guard, first responders around the state. I think working as a team, we've been able to maybe mitigate some of the hardship, but we got a long way to go. It was very encouraging when we would land in different places, and the first thing that a lot of citizens would say to us is, thank you for sending the Guard. And we will be there. And I told the governor the night before the hurricane, I told him we are ready, and Governor, we stand ready to continue to work for you in any way we can to help the citizens.
Well, let me thank Governor Shumlin for his leadership. This is obviously a devastating moment in the history of the state of Vermont. We've lost lives, we have suffered tens and tens and tens of millions of dollars of infrastructure damage, the loss of businesses, and damage to homes. So this problem is not going to be rectified tomorrow. It's going to take months and perhaps years to address all of these problems. Clearly, the federal government, working with the state, is going to be playing an important role, and I know I speak for our entire delegation that we're going to do everything that we can to make sure that Vermont gets the help that it needs. And I didn't get a chance to tell the governor. I got off the phone a few minutes ago with Secretary of Transportation Irene LaHood, and Secretary LaHood indicates that they are paying close attention to the issue, and in fact, within a very short period of time, there'll be some emergency money coming into the state. I lastly want to pick up on a point that the governor made. I was just in Randall Street in Waterbury, and that's a street that was hit very, very hard with this flash flooding. People had to get out of their homes very quickly, 7, 8 o'clock last night. And what I want to say is the spirit of the people, as the governor indicates, was just extraordinary. Every house you went to, where people were dealing with mud, dealing with furniture that had been taken out into the street, they were talking about folks from all over town, friends and relatives coming out to give them a hand, and they really did appreciate that. Last point, as the governor indicated, it is important for anybody who has suffered damage to call 211 so they get a record of their damage. But I think that together, the delegation working with fine folks here at the state level will do what we have to do to get the state up again. So, Governor, thank you for all that you're doing.
Nothing much to add. It was just an interesting trip today. Obviously, widespread devastation, and we certainly are in uncharted territory as we go throughout the state. But there was a couple of good stories, and one was going to Wall Goldfinger, a business in Northfield that was devastated. There's 45 employees there, 90 in the whole complex. And when we got there, they were pretty much shut down. But there was a number of people outside working, putting together something. And I thought that they were just taking pieces out of the building. But what they were doing was fulfilling an order that needed to go out today for a business that they said wouldn't be able to open in another state if they didn't get their order out. So the employees were working on benches out in the parking lot trying to get it done. The other story was in Woodstock. We were at the Woodstock store, and another 40 employees there, and they literally was 3 to 4 feet of water inside the building. Went in, there was mud everywhere. People were, there was a bobcat skid steer inside the building taking material out. But we saw a lot of people with shovels, and they were helping to push the material into piles. And when we talked with them, I asked one of them, are you an employee here? And he said, no. He said, I used to live here in Woodstock. I live in New Hampshire now. And I said, well, what's your connection to the store? He said, don't have any. He said, I just came to help. And so there was a lot of those stories today, and I think that's what others have said. That's what makes Vermont so special. And certainly here within our group, we, on other days, other periods, I might feel a bit outnumbered. But today I feel like I'm amongst friends, and we're all Vermonters first. And so it was a good day for that, to see that spirit.